The lorry arrives every morning a little before 8 o'clock. For a small fee, the driver picks up the workers and takes them to the mountain. What once used to be the largest silver mine in the world lies at the height of 4,700 meters. Even today, thousands of workers still come here to seek their fortune. This morning, Jesus and Ramon are making their way on foot to the Cerro Rico, which is the official name of the mountain. The two friends are 14 and 15 years old. They work 700 meters underground as drilling assistants and hauliers. Today, they have a special assignment. Together with their foreman, these young men are to blast a newly discovered vein. The pitted giant mountain has already yielded 46,000 tons of silver. After 500 years, nearly all of its deposits are exhausted. Despite this, workers keep on digging. The least they receive is a fixed wage. Here, only those who find something can survive. Our people go 1,000 meters inside the mountain and 1,000 meters underground. We work at 3 levels. There are those who earn lots of money and others who earn less. It all depends on luck, in finding a vein with black or white silver, tin or zinc. The work in the interior of the mountain is extremely dangerous. The average life expectancy of a mine worker is 39 years of age. Most succumb to the lung disease silicosis. Jesus and Ramon prepare for the blasting operation. Johnny, their foreman, shows them how to insert the dynamite in the mine perforations. This is how 3,500 children and young people work in the shafts of the Cerro Rico. These little helpers are cheap labour for the mine operators, but also a liability. Every week, inexperienced miners get injured or even buried alive in these treacherous tunnels. It's our destitution that leads us to this business. We are many in the family, so I have to work day and night. I am a day labourer, and I always work from Monday to Friday. On Fridays, I will have already started work by 3 o'clock in the morning, and I work until 12 midday. Before Jesus and Ramon haul off the rocks, they pray to Tio, the god of the underworld. They have brought with them offerings of schnapps and cocoa leaves to propitiate him and canvass his benevolence. Today, each of the 500 mines in the Cerro Rico has a similar prayer room for religious devotions. The Spanish colonial overlords established the belief in Tio as a means of inducing obedience in the superstitious South American Indians. For a few short moments, it gets hot inside the vault. As the alcohol starts to blaze, the 3 miners have poured too much of it inside the shrine. Tio will surely pardon them. We bring here alcohol, cigarettes, cocoa and candles. When we worship Tio, he helps us find more minerals. The mountain gives us more. When we do not respect him, then he gives us very little raw materials. The work goes on for Ramon and Jesus. Out of several tons of rock, they might perhaps glean a couple of kilograms of tin or zinc. Strictly speaking, the legal age to work here is 16, although in many of the poorest regions of Bolivia, this rule is often ignored. A bus with 30 tourists arrives. Europeans and North Americans want to experience for themselves how it feels at 1,000 meters underground. Meanwhile, the miners have become accustomed to the curious glances and clicking cameras. Tourists bring money and sometimes gifts. In the local museum, they hear how around 8 million South American Indians died as slave labor in the mountain. A suffocating feeling of unease develops among the tourists. A Swiss group brings its tour to an early end. This is the last straw for me. On the one hand, it is an exciting experience. Then again, it is sensation-seeking tourism. This is one boundary too many. The people work for their living in order to have something to eat for their families. If then the tourists come, it is a double-edged sword, a mixed blessing. Many miners live directly on the mountain, in small stone huts. Jesus has been drawn here from the country, with his mother and 6 sisters. Since the death of his father, 13 years previously, the family has had to find a source of income. They are aware that the life of miners is hard and can sometimes be short. But they have no choice. With the equivalent wage of €4 a day, Jesus earns enough to make ends meet. His mother shows us her house. It consists of a single room for cooking, eating and sleeping. 3 of her children are now married and live in town. The rest of the family shares the one bed. She says she is very proud of Jesus, of all he does for the family, and this, although he is still going to school. Frau Peralta leaves us. She has to do her shift of duty in the social centre nearby. She gets no money there, but in return, she gets a cooked lunch. At mealtimes, her children take care of each other. The aid organisation for children in need, Kinder Not Hilfe, has built a house for 200 poor child miners in Cerro Rico. At 12 o'clock, there is a rush to wash hands, youngest first. What is for most the only meal of the day is waiting. Jesus and Ramon eat here too. When they come out of the mine after their early shift, they have nobody to cook for them. The house is financially aided by donations from Austria. In the afternoon, they see to their homework, music and drama groups. In time, Kinder Not Hilfe is building an even bigger centre in Potosi. There is a constant flow here of new people from the country to earn more money from mining. As we are trying to accommodate the families who already work in the mines at the same time, more are constantly arriving. Therefore, it is very difficult. This problem has to be contained in one way or another.
Entonces es muy difícil ver y considerar esta situación y poner un límite.
After the completion of the new Wawawasi, which is the Quechua name for the children's home, there will be space for an additional 200 child miners. Jesus and Ramon start school punctually at 1 o'clock. They are already tired from their early shift. They cannot find the time to do their homework. They have to work. Jesus would like to do geology later on. Ramon would like to become an architect, but their prospects are bleak. I go into the mines and I get headaches. At the beginning of the week I still feel quite well, but towards the end I always feel worse, and I am unable to concentrate any further. It is not only Jesus and Ramon who are like that. I have still more students in higher classes who lead a similarly tough life. They work by night and study by day. Many a case is genuinely grim. They have to maintain their family, to go to work and go to school. They have triple work. It is the election campaign in Bolivia, and the citizens of Potosi are expecting a high-level visit. President Evo Morales is coming over for a lightning visit. He is courting the support of the co-conventioneers. For Morales, this is a home game. For the miners are his natural supporters, given that he promises them more money from the wealthier oil-rich provinces. The highlands of the Andes should no longer be on the loser's side. Here we are talking of 513 years, during which people from humble homes were exploited, during which workers were oppressed and people rode roughshod over them. The first time since the Inca king Atahualpa, an indigenous leader speaks again to his people. When we mention Potosi, we talk of the history of Bolivia, of the exploitation of our mineral resources. Potosi is a province with a great past. Potosi was first exploited and then left to decline. Morales disappeared in the crowd as suddenly as he arrived. He too knows that for these people, no marvel will happen. The Silver Mountain has been run down long ago, and apart from the mining industry, there is nothing more here. It is evening in Potosi. It is the time for families to get together in their houses, to talk about their day, to drink. At the mountainside, Jesus celebrates the arrival of summer with his family and a pair of co-workers. South American Indians sprinkle high-proof alcohol on the ground before drinking it and trust in the mercy of Tio that he will soon let them discover a vein of silver. He has kept them waiting for some considerable time already.